my cat looks like a little blob. Insert clip of blob here. Hello, gorgeous. You are watching my most anticipated fall releases of 2018. So when I was looking over the monstrous list that I have of all of the releases that are coming out from now until the end of the year, I picked out 9 that I was most excited for. So these 9 books, or if I start editing and decide to make it just an even number and put in a 10 there, are in order of release date, and I'll put all the information at the bottom of the screen as you're watching, including the number of pages, the Goodreads rating, and the release date. Looking at my list, the first 3 are adult thrillers, which is okay, which is fine. I love YA, but I'm like, growing up, I know, it's weird. I was not prompt about filming this video, so 3 of these books already came out. So I'm starting from the beginning of September to the end of December. The first book I'm going to talk about is called Leave No Trace by Mindy Mejia? Quick synopsis of this book. Basically, the great outdoors were alluring to a father and son, but then they go have their adventures and never come back. So it's 10 years later, the son resurfaces, and he's kind of feral. Feral children. This is a topic that I really want to read about. Since this channel is new, I will take this opportunity to let you in on what kind of a reader I am. I love contemporary, but like mental health and issue books. A lot of my books are kind of sad. I'm trying to gravitate towards less sad books, but I also am not really into fantasy all that much. So I really want this book for 2 reasons. 1, feral children, and 2, because I have another book by her called Everything You Want Me to Be. And Everything You Want Me to Be is basically about a girl who has so much potential and then she's found stabbed, and she was like in some sort of online relationship that no one knew about and that was really sketchy and secret. There was more about it that was intriguing to me, but I kind of forget what the book is about. So moving on to number 2. This next book came out on September 4th also, and is in hardcover. I thought this author released paperbacks, like, ASAP. When the Lights Go Out by Mary Kubica. Kubica? Another aspect of books that I absolutely love is unreliable narrators. This book kind of gives me Girl on a Train vibes in that the main character is kind of like doesn't really know reality versus what's all in her head. I love mental health books, so when I was at Barnes & Noble's looking at the new release table, I opened the jacket and I started reading and a couple words stuck out to me. Pills, delusions, insomnia. And also that blur of reality plotline. Book number 3, I actually already pre-ordered and is waiting for me in the mailroom downstairs. I really need to go grab this because I wanted to read it ASAP and then have a review up in like a few days. This book is called I Know You Know by Jilly McMillan. I always call her Gilly because I feel like it's more unique, but it's probably Jilly. What captivated me about this book at first glance was that it's not a detective novel. It's not just another detective murder story. I hate when I'm trying to delve into the world of adult magic, not actually magic, but like fiction. It's just detective story after detective story. I'm like, guys, I watch enough of that on TV. So our main character in I Know You Know is not a detective, but a filmmaker. So the crime happened 20 years ago. Cody Swift is our filmmaker, and 2 of his friends, when they were all 11 years old, were brutally murdered. So Cody comes back to Bristol, UK, somewhere in the UK, and kind of delves into this new, reopened crime, not involving his 2 friends from 20 years ago, but new remains were found in the same spot that the 2 kids' remains were found. So an investigation is launched to see if the 2 are related. Number 4, I'm gonna get closer to the YA genre here. We got Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is book 2 to Vicious. I can actually show you a book. Woohoo! So this is the older paperback version. I got this off Book Outlet a while back. I will also mention here that some of the books on this list are sequels, so I'm probably only gonna just summarize the first book because the sequel's just gonna go off of the first book. The allure of this book for me was medical students. Like, come on. And I actually bought a book recently that has the same kind of premise that I will talk about in a book haul. But with this one, everyone kind of knows about this already, so I'll just give a brief summary. So the series of books follows Eli and Victor, and they are medical students and roommates, and they're trying to figure out how to acquire supernatural powers. They succeed, but they end up becoming enemies by the end of the book, and Victor gets 10 years in jail. So I believe book 2, Vengeful, is about Victor getting out and, you know, having this revenge plot against his ex-bestie. Book 2 also features sisters Serena and Sydney. But it sounds like Serena is gone, whether she's missing or dead, I don't know. So it's kind of cool. We got like brothers and then sisters. Number 5 is also a YA book that I'm so excited for, but I don't think I've heard like anyone talk about it. This book is called The Rule of One by Ashley and Leslie Saunders. They're either sisters or mother and daughter, or cousins, I don't know. And I actually pre-ordered the audio. So I kind of have a trend going. I've been telling you the hook and sinker that's really sucked me into these summaries on the backs of books that makes me want to read them. Here's why I'm so excited for The Rule of One. There's a movie on Netflix called What Happened to Monday. And this book sounds just like that movie, except when it comes to Monday, there was 7 sisters, whereas The Rule of One, there's 2. Near future USA, you are only allowed 1 child. Ava Goodwin's mother died to protect their family secret, which is identical twin girls. Not only is there Ava Goodwin, but there's Mira Goodwin. Or it might be Myra. It's probably Myra. For 18 years, these sisters were able to just swap days, like, hey, you go out today, I'll go out tomorrow. They basically exist as the same person. Until they're exposed. Oh. Numbers 6 and 7 are also sequels. This is one of those books that I was anticipating months before it was released. It was one that I found out about, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm gonna buy that as soon as it comes out. Obviously, I have the paperback copy, so I did not do what I wanted to do. Paperback, saving a little bit of money. The sequel is coming out at the end of the month. It is called The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, and it's about Felicity, his sister. And why am I so excited about book 2? Because Felicity wants to be a doctor. Yes! Everything doctor, everything medical, oh my god. I wanted to be a doctor when I was younger. I still remember a lot of the anatomy and physiology that I studied. But I'll give you a basic rundown of book 1, since you're probably not going to buy book 2 before reading this one. This is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. We have Henry, better known as Monty, and him and his best friend go on a road trip, but it's not a road trip because it's back in the day. It is a tour around Europe. But what makes this story great is it's kind of a historic LGBT crush book. He has a crush on his best friend, and so when they go out to have this kind of last shebang until Monty has a lot of responsibilities that he has to go back home to, he's with his crush, and you know. It looks adorable, it sounds adorable, it is adorable. This book got all the hype that I was really hoping that it would. My wallet wants book 2. When cute books that are amazing win awards. Hashtag Simon. I want to say hashtag it's kind of a funny story, but I don't know if that won an award. So, what's book 2 about? It's about a sister, Felicity, and she wants to be a doctor, and she's going to do whatever it takes to get to Germany, to go to this guy that she wants to apprentice, to be a freaking medical student and a doctor. She strikes a deal with this lady who's on a boat to go to the, you know, her way, sort of. She hitches a ride, and I think it's pirates, but the summary on the back doesn't say it's pirates. You know, the summary is just like, yeah, she pretends to be her maid in exchange for a ride to get to Germany, and Piracy, though? Piracy. Both, like, journey books. Ugh, love it. So, book number 7 is also a sequel, like I said, but I don't have the physical book 1 to show you. I listened to it on Audible. And that was Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, so now Muse of Nightmares is coming out, and I've also pre-ordered the audiobook to this one. Because the guy who narrates it has this voice that's just like a lullaby every night before you go to bed. Also, the story's great. I am not a big fantasy person. I'm really not. But everyone was talking about Strange the Dreamer, and I wanted to be in the loop, and it had to have been good for everyone to be raving about it. When I listen to audiobooks, I don't always get everything, so there are definitely chunks of this audiobook that I missed, so I need to re-listen to this before I listen to Muse of Nightmares. This is a book that's been flying around the booktube, so I'm pretty sure everyone knows about it, but basically, short rundown, really quick rundown, the quickest rundown you've ever heard. Laszlo Strange, ugly, kind of tall, hunched over, weird nose, long hair, scary guy, is awesome. He basically lives in the library, has no social life, does not go outside, has never met a girl, and then he gets chosen to go to Weep. Now, Weep is not actually called Weep. When he was younger, he knew the name of this city, and it was gone. I don't know if it's like you hit 5 years old and no, you're not allowed to know about real magic anymore. Hopefully in book 2, is this a duology? If it's a duology, they have to tell us what the actual name is. Like, I'm really dying to know what this place is actually called. Everyone knows it as Weep. It is Weep. Here in Weep, there are people who are blue, and there is this family of kids that he meets, and there's a history of you know, God slaying, badass 6-year-old who's kind of sketchy. And the book ends not exactly cliffhangery, but like enough of a cliffhanger to irk you a little bit. A really beautiful love story blossoms between Laszlo and Sarai, this girl who lives in Weep, one of the kids that survived this huge God slaying that happened like forever ago. Actually, it was only 15 years ago. Anyway, if you don't like fantasy and you don't think any of this sounds interesting, the audiobook is a lullaby and gorgeous and beautiful. It is music to my ears. And also the language, Laini Taylor writes in such a way that, oh my gosh, it's like words are colors and she's painting. I can't describe it, but if you look at how many copies of the first book have sold, you might be able to guess that this girl knows what she's doing. Book number 8 on my list of anticipated releases this fall is Broken Things by Lauren Oliver. I love standalones, and I love Lauren Oliver's books because they're standalones, and you can just get a story and read it and be done, which is great, which has this self-accomplishment feeling. Guess who's pre-ordering books to try to be in the know? Now here's what got me into Broken Things. Do you remember Slender Man? There was an actual murder that took place because these girls got obsessed with Slender Man. And there's a book called Mr. Tender's Girl, which I love, 5 stars on Goodreads, oh my gosh, by Carter Wilson. And that kind of is based off of the actual murders of Slender Man. Well, this book has those vibes. 3 best friends read this book called The Way into Lovelorn, and they become obsessed with it. So much that 2 of them kill the 3rd. So the book takes place 5 years after the horrible crime, and it sounds like no information was found, so these 2 girls are then called back in to confront their past, and hopefully they get some repercussions. They probably pled insanity. No, that's not good enough for me. Actually it is, because I like insanity books. Number 9! Did you notice that a book behind me disappeared? And book number 9 is Archenemies by Marissa Meyer. What makes me excited for this book is this book, and also the Lunar Chronicles, because Marissa Meyer is a freaking great author, and I love robot cyborgs. Oh my gosh, the moon. While I have read the Lunar Chronicles, actually I have not read Winter, I'll be honest, because I don't have Winter. But it's out in paperback now, so hey, I can get a matching set. I plan to read this before the sequel comes out, but I'm kind of intimidated, highly intimidated, by big books. This is a hunker. So my synopsis of this book is not going to be extremely in-depth, having not read it yet. What I know about this book is the renegades are humans who have powers that symbolize hope and courage. But Nova, who might be... It sounds like probably that's Nova, she's a human, but she hates the renegades for some reason, and she wants to exact revenge on the renegades. I don't know what happened to her that she hates the renegades, but she hates them. So when she goes to have her revenge on the renegades, she meets Adrian, and I think they fall in love. Is Adrian a robot? Who's a robot? Who's the robot if it's a human against humans? Where do the robots come in? So apparently Nova and Adrian fought a dictator named the Detonator in book 1. But that dictator had an army called the Anarchists, and it sounds like the renegades are gonna have to take them down. I swear I'm not OCD, but it kind of bothers me that I have 9 books to talk about instead of 10. I have found a 10th book that I want to talk about, and that is the sequel to Call. Oh, this really has a theme, doesn't it? The sequel to Call is called Invasion. Peter O'Gillen. O'Gillen. So this book, oh my gosh, like people read this but stopped talking about it. Like they read it and it was really good, but they stopped talking about it. Come on, people. Invasion came out already. I'm gonna include it anyway because, oh my gosh, the Call was so good and I really need Invasion in my life. Thanks for watching. Bye!